right, and we are back here with yet another smoke session. And in these discussions, we're going to talk about, I guess, the wide world of cannabis. And
Hell yeah, we're trying to really dive more into that world because there's so many different regulations, different rules, different standards, different status quos, depending on where you're at in regards to cannabis.
Yeah, exactly. And
marijuana.
There's always news coming out, and we like to keep the people informed as to, I guess, the new rules that we stumble across, and we relay the message to the audience. So
yeah, and we honestly, guys, we just see these news articles, we read them, we do our little research, and then we give you our opinions. None of this is fact. We aren't politicians. We're not we're kind of scientists, but not official scientists. And so, guys, we just kind of give you our takes on what we think is happening in the world of weed.
Definitely. And while we do that, we're smoking on some legally lifted. For me, I'm smoking on that cookies cart.
Yeah, but I'm about to roll up some of that rocket fuel. I don't know if you can see it because these arms, but rocket fuel available on CBDHempLibrary.com. Carts are buy 3, get 1 free currently.
Yep. And you just got to let us know the flavor that you want free in the little comment section on the order.
Right. So the first topic, actually, that we're going to get to, Sergio and I, if you watch the show, are huge MMA fans. Sergio probably a little bit more than me, but I'm still a sizable one. And we just actually received news, yesterday, that they're going to cease testing for marijuana in the UFC.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, old Dana White hit me on my cell phone personally. Okay. He was like, "Oh, you're Sergio from CBD Hemp Library, right?" Yeah, I wanted to give you the news first. So I knew that this was coming down the pipeline. But
and you hit up Adam Schefter?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I hit up Adam Schefter. No, it's Ariel Helwani from the
UFC, yeah.
So,
Adam Schefter.
The UFC is officially not testing for cannabis at all. No THC, no CBD, nothing. So if you're in them at UFC, you could now legally smoke weed. And they even said, the way because they don't want people to fighting intoxicated. Mm-hmm. And the way they're going to do that is like it says in the rules, just by looking at them. So just don't look high when you're walking into the fight. You're good. Yeah, use some eye drops.
I don't think most of those guys really. Maybe they for sure are using like topicals and stuff like that for that type of stuff. But I don't think too many of those guys would be smoking before a fight. Maybe some of them.
I think a good amount. I don't know if smoking it would be the intake method, but I think a lot of fighters go in there a little intoxicated.
On some stuff.
On even THC. I know. I'm sure Nate
I think
Diaz
a little bit of. I feel like some of them will take like a shot. Yeah, that's not bad for you. That's gonna like relax your muscles, relax your body, but not also get you fucked up like a shot and a half.
Yeah, I mean, I know in the jiu-jitsu world, edible cannabis is huge because you take an edible and then you have like a 45-minute, come up while you could start your jiu-jitsu warm-ups, and then supposedly you're able to get into a really good flow state while you're, the edible's peaking, you're in a jiu-jitsu roll around, finding your arm bars, your headlocks.
So people where did you read this story or where did you hear that, because I'm curious, not to challenge it, but where did you hear this story that jiu-jitsu and THC edibles go together?
Well, I mean, my little brother was a jiu-jitsu practitioner for like the vast majority of his teenage years, up until today. And he said it was always big. And then you some of the world greats, for example, Eddie Bravo, famous from pretty much being Joe Rogan's friend and one of the most decorated Brazilian jiu-jitsu artists ever.
Okay.
Huge stoner, has really gone in depth on the Rogan podcast about why it's good and how it helps, certain aspects of jiu-jitsu. Mm-hmm. But I think within that community, you've also been allowed to. I don't think they're testing you for cannabis when you're just doing jiu-jitsu tournaments,
Right.
So I think like it's always been allowed. So there's a culture when something's allowed. I'm sure there's people within Brazilian jiu-jitsu who hate it as well.
Yeah.
But there is that subculture within it that says that cannabis is a really good aid in focusing during those roll-around sessions.
I think baseball and the NFL are really the only two leagues left.
Yeah.
I don't think hockey does anymore. NBA.
They pretend to.
Yeah, I don't think they really do that. I think they have like the months out shit. Like they tell you will be tested like at this date. And that's really what the NFL is becoming too, especially with COVID. Because the NBA said the reason was for COVID that they stopped doing the non-performance enhancing drugs. Test only, that's the only thing they test for, is performance enhancing drugs now. Which says, why is weed illegal? If you're actually classifying it as a non-performance enhancing drug, Why is it illegal in the rules? I guess it's an illegal substance.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, definitely big shout out to Dana White and the UFC and all the fighters who fought the good fight. I mean, you got fighters like legends, Nick Diaz, Nate Diaz, who had years taken off of their careers for cannabis.
Oh, for real?
Nick Diaz got suspended for 5 years.
From what?
For
what
MMA.
League? What league was it, or what fighting circuit was it?
Well, it was from the UFC, but the way it works is you get suspended by the governing boards of each state.
Oh, okay.
So, like, you're just kind of banned from the sport, you know, because then they
That's
won't
what they do
license
with, like boxing, like Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, exactly. Because
Yeah.
then other places, even if, like, let's say another competitor, Bellator, wanted to sign him, you can't fight in, let's say, Vegas because he's been suspended by the governing board that also governs over.
So he lost
Bellator.
5 years?
5 years. Nate Diaz, multiple years
And
of
they
his
fight,
career.
and that shit is so painful, bro. They need weed almost more than them in the NFL probably need weed more than just as much as anybody.
5 years in MMA is almost an entire career.
Yeah, any professional sport.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that was an extreme disservice. And I hope on the back end of all of this, I mean, I'm sure he already is, he could become very successful in the cannabis lane. Him and his brother are both revolutionaries, I guess you could say, for the cannabis and UFC movement. And I think they finally won. So definitely shout out to the Diaz brothers because I don't think it would have happened without them. I mean, just in his last fight, he sparked up a J on the stage and he was like, oh, this is my own CBD line. Y'all can't tell me shit. I was like, damn.
Oh, it's his own CBD line?
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
I can't tell you off top, to be honest. That's how he debuted it. He was on the stage. I don't know if it was, I want to say it was McGregor. I think that was his last fight.
Oh, it's been
Oh, no, it was Masvidal.
Oh, the BMF?
Yeah.
Let me see. Nate Diaz, CBD. Game Up Nutrition?
Yeah, I think, that's
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so definitely shout that out. I mean, and now he could move into THC, which I'm sure he's excited about. We might need to get in contact with good old Nate Diaz himself to get him some fire Delta 8 rocket fuel, let him know what the people want.
Hell yeah.
But, I mean, it's an exciting time for marijuana, really. Once the UFC and every sport is on board, most states are on board, it gets to a point when you got to look at the government like, the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, you look dumb. Mexico, Canada, all of our neighbors are on board. What's happening? It's starting to sound like y'all don't like weed because it's bad for us.
I completely agree.
That's what it seems like. Seems like it's trending towards.
Snap.
What happened?
We got some incoming news here. I'll just let you read it.
Breaking news?
Yeah.
Is it for us or for the people?
Let me see. Here, just read it. It's not too great of news. We might have to edit this portion out, but yeah, we just got that email.
Okay.
That was from one of the ones that I think they even marked it like that too, so we're probably going to have to issue a refund.
No. Well, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah.
It looks like you can test it. But, so talking about people, I guess, things that aren't liked right now, that'd be Kyrie Irving.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
And the Nets' whole saga right now, as obviously they got James Harden signed yesterday and whatever they call the blockbuster deal or whatever.
The blockbuster of all blockbusters. Nah, I think everybody kind of, after what he said the night before, too, they knew it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, the whole team is going to be, it's the most interesting drama of recent memory in the NBA.
Yeah, I agree. And even if they lose Kyrie or whatever, he doesn't come back or doesn't play anymore, I can't see anybody even getting close to touching them out the East.
Yeah, I think even, just with James Harden and Kevin Durant, they'd be able to make it out of the East.
But I also don't know if they're even a top 3 team in the West still. They have no depth.
Yeah, that really remains to be seen. I don't know. They're going to have to score 150 a night, that's for sure.
They have to score so many points. They're not playing no type of defense.
Yeah, they don't match up well with people in the West, but the East isn't, like, talent stacked enough for them to really have an issue there.
In the East.
Yeah, in the East.
Yeah.
But the West has so much talent on
like
teams.
Milwaukee might give them a little bit of might. I don't even think so because they can't shoot threes.
They're the only big 3 in the NBA now. Like
Who?
legitimate superstar big 3, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Like there's only like 2 on every other team, and some of them are questionable. Like those are 3 bona fide superstars, 2 with rings, and I think 2 with MVPs. So shit.
Yeah. All 3 all pros.
Yeah, this might be, in terms of just pure talent, not in terms of how they fit together, the best big 3 of all time. Because I don't know if they'll mesh, but in terms of individual talent, they're all in the prime of their careers.
Best big 3 of all time. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, just in terms of like not Madden, fucking the NBA 2K stats. Mm-hmm. You know, like Harden's damn near a 99, KD's a 99.
Kyrie's like a 96.
Yeah, shit, maybe even more.
I agree. No, I completely agree. Just straight up talent wise, because Clay's a 90, 91.
Yeah. Steph might be pushing that 99. He's got the perfect video game.
Yeah, he's at the top, and KD was at the top. But yeah, I can agree with you. Maybe the only one I could even argue with is what people thought about Chris Bosh when he first came over.
Yeah.
D-Wade was a little bit post-prime.
Yeah,
but he was still...
he still had some moments in him.
I mean, more than just moments. I mean, he was critical.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no. Because if you're matching them up, KD's better than Chris Bosh.
Yeah.
Or KD and LeBron are really a wash, I guess you could say, in terms of just like if we're looking at it from 2K stats. And then James Harden's much better than Dwayne Wade was at the time. Yeah. And then Kyrie's better than Chris Bosh was too. So yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, talent-wise, we'll see. But it's the most interesting drama of the season. Mm-hmm. Is Kyrie going to come back? Where's his head going to be at? Is he going to get along with his other teammates? Because there may be a possibility that they're like, look, this is just how he is. You know, he's the artist. You know, the artist, they always say, like, the crazy, tortured souls. Yeah. Like, that's how he may present himself to the basketball world. I think they might need to amend his contracts to reflect that in terms of, like, because I think there's, like, mandatory suspensions written into contracts if you miss games without good reason.
Dude, they could void his contract.
Yeah, so he's on a slippery slope. I don't know what to expect, but I'm interested as fuck. Like, I hadn't watched any NBA games. I'm watching the first time they play together, no doubt.
Might be tomorrow, huh?
Yeah. If Kyrie shows up, I don't think anybody really knows.
Oh, first time they play together. But, I mean, yeah, nobody knows, but I'm going to check the Nets schedule.
I think they played last night, so and that was a back-to-back, so they probably got tonight off, maybe the next day. Harden will he's probably there already.
He's for sure there already.
He's already touring
He played Saturday.
Damn, he's going into a city that's locked down. He's going from Houston to New York.
Yeah.
He's going from can go to the strip club if he feels like it to you can't even go out to eat.
But Harden has fly to the strip club tonight type money.
He does. And I hope his
Did you see that chart I saw a chart on Twitter. Some guy made a chart that has like the direct correlation to James Harden and strip clubs and his point percentage. His bad games are almost all in cities that have elite strip clubs.
Elite.
He plays horrible in Miami. He plays amazing in Toronto. Every time. And because at this point, like the test pool he has is like much because he's played 30 games in every single city at this point.
Hell yeah.
So it was interesting to see because it was actually a chart and it was showing that James Harden does better in cities that have subpar strip clubs. Utah kills them.
That means he's about to ball because they're not even allowed to be open in New York. Mm-hmm. So he couldn't go to one if he had the itch. If he woke up at 2 a.m. and was like, I need to get to a strip club.
Yeah.
He couldn't go.
He took flack and he got his ass beat and he had some bad games. But overall, he had an amazing bubble. Like if you're looking at it just straight numbers, like I guess if you don't look at it from game to game or whatever, but if you look at it just straight numbers, he was arguably, he was a top 3 player in the bubble. Like he was out there getting crazy buckets, no strip clubs available.
Yeah, it's true. And he maintained his energy. Like he never, the typical story of James Harden is he kind of runs out of gas towards the end. Whether it's true or not, that's like what's been painted about him.
That's just, that 1 point for me is just like a usage issue. No one also has close to the usage.
Yeah. But he does have, I was watching good old Skip Bayless go through the stats today.
Yeah.
He has a unique ability to disappear in important games. Like he went through like deciding game 5, game 7 here, game 7 here.
Yeah.
And the stats are actually crazy. I think a piece of it is that he kind of folds a bit. And it started in OKC. I remember when he came into the Heat, when they played him, James Harden struggled horribly the whole series. And it kind of always haunted him. Whether it's his fault every time, obviously it's not every time.
And I don't think he's ever. I was looking at a Jordan tweet the other day, and obviously I'm not sitting here comparing James Harden to Michael Jordan. But what I am saying is that Michael Jordan, outside of having Scottie Pippen on his team, struggled in crazy ways. Like, he was, dude, because they were, like, listing stuff, like, lost to prime time, like, lost to all the greats in their primes. So when he lost to the Celtics, he lost to the Pistons, he lost to the Lakers until they got very old, and then Magic got AIDS. Yeah. And so, like, when you look at how it was and how long it took him to get good, like, James Harden could be 3 years behind and still be able to win championships, but he might just not have found his mix yet.
Yeah,
because
but now he has, if he doesn't win it,
nobody's Braun is what it all comes down to. Is nobody ever has been Braun. Nobody's ever been able to really backpack an ass team and take them to like new heights by himself.
You can't beat LeBron without a super team unless you have brilliant coaching like the Spurs and the Popovich.
They said LeBron hit a turnaround three. The whole league changed.
Yeah, for real.
The other night. Yeah.
No, that was great.
The league rearranged
I'm
itself.
definitely excited for it. It makes the NBA more exciting, in my opinion. I know people are like, oh, super team this, but I wasn't watching the NBA at all besides LeBron. I watch the Lakers sporadically in the big games, but this is going to make me watch Brooklyn now. So that's two teams that I'm going to be watching.
Yeah.
It's doubled my NBA intake.
I got you. Well, guys, before we move on to the next one, we actually, if you're catching this video on Legally Lifted or on the Legally Lifted podcast, please feel free to go over and subscribe to CBD Hemp Library and check out our products actually on CBDHempLibrary.com if anybody's interested in a cart or some flour. That's kind of just a little
Definitely.
Please subscribe.
As you can see here on a Legally Lifted and CBD Hemp Library, we are diversifying the content a little bit. You know, I guess we're talking about marijuana news, and on that note, we have one more state that's about to be added to the recreational list in a few years.
Oh yeah,
in Virginia,
soon.
Right?
I think they're saying this year, and then it could be in place, and then 2023.
Yeah. So it's like technically legal now, but the recreational market
this
will be
year they're
established.
about to vote on it. They're like pushing it into onto their ballots this year.
Nice. So it's seeming like Virginia is going to be the next state to make marijuana recreationally legal. Mm-hmm. Hopefully they don't slap an unlimited amount of taxes on it and they make it reasonable for us to be able to, you know, capture our market share as regular people.
No, that's going to change that whole region because now D.C. is legal, you know, so that's 2/3 of the DMV area.
Yeah.
That's like now legal, and that's our fucking country's capital.
And I think Virginia might be one of those states that's slightly underrated, and now with cannabis is going to be, people are going to flock there. Because I think
politicians don't want people living there. Yeah. That's where they are.
I think they got a beach out there, right?
Virginia Beach.
Yeah, Virginia Beach.
Yeah,
it
nice.
has like all different types of environments.
I've been out there. It's nice.
It sounds like what would be a solid state. Not one that I'd ever considered living in, but now cannabis, anything's on the table, you know?
I feel you. No, I like Virginia, but at the same time, it's exciting, dude. 16 states, and just any state. But 16 states.
And now it's not, for a lot of the beginning stages of legalization, it was West Coast. Like, only it was so coastal, like all the weeds coming from Cali. Now you got West Coast, Midwest, and East Coast. You have multiple states within each region that are going rec.
Right.
So even if there were states like Texas who wanted to keep it illegal, it's so impossible to stop the market that you have to legalize it.
Yeah, and it's even without it being rec, even at the medical level, just the decriminalization and no sentencing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's another just huge thing. Huge thing that even if you can't recreationally, even if you can't go to a dispensary, you're not going to go to jail for having it under a reasonable amount, hopefully.
Yeah. I hope they don't sneak any weird laws into it or anything. But so far, it looks great. I'm hoping federally some action starts happening soon. Even if it's just as minor as the declassification from it being a Schedule 1. Mm-hmm. Which, if that doesn't happen, if they can't give us that, what the fuck are they ever going to do for us?
It's 100% medicine.
Yeah.
Like, there's not even a debate about it. Oh, my
So
God.
it's like meth, marijuana, same level. It's like, if you can't get that fixed, nothing's going to change ever. Like, that should be the easiest agreement. Like, at least put it Schedule 4 or whatever the fuck.
And then they still prescribe people meth-based drugs.
I think meth might be Schedule 2.
I think so. It's a I think methamphetamine is Schedule 2 controlled substances.
Yeah, and number one is the worst of all bad is marijuana, cannabis.
Oh my God.
It's
Like, that
absurd.
is so funny, bro.
It's crazy. Like if they don't get at least that done, I'm losing all hope in it ever becoming legal. It should be the easiest thing. Let's just put it
The same as heroin?
Yeah,
Really?
exactly.
Really? The same as heroin.
Like at some point, the vast majority of people have to be in agreement to look at that, and I think they definitely are.
They are.
Yeah,
100%.
That doesn't make any fucking sense,
That doesn't
Mr.
make
Government.
any fucking sense.
Mr. Uncle Sam, get your shit together, because there's no way. If you can't get this shit off Schedule 1, we may need to, there's really nothing left to do. We might need to just abandon hope. It'll never be legal.
It'll for sure be legal.
Yeah, I'm hoping these next 2 years. But I've been hoping for the last 10. I've always thought, it's like, oh yeah, they can't be this dumb for that long.
Nah, but at this point, it's different from when we were kids, though, in my opinion. It's completely different. Like, when we were kids, it was, what, 1 rec state, 2 medical states?
Something like that.
Like, Cali was late 90s. Colorado wasn't rec till 2012.
Yeah.
So, like, and that was the first modern-day rec. Like, Cali was rec so long ago, but they had nothing regulated, nothing set up, nothing, anything. It's like, you could just have weed, whatever. But when it comes to, or maybe early 2000s, they figured it out. I don't know. But Colorado, I know, is like 2012, 2013 is when that crossover happened. And
I remember Colorado being like the first
the
state
first-
that like changed the game for
changed
me,
the
mentally
game.
at least.
Exactly.
Like Cali was like, that was always its, like you're saying, stereotype.
So in 7 years, 36 times that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not too bad.
Yeah, we are making good progress.
That's crazy progress.
On a statewide
And,
level.
and if you go back to, dude, even the fact that it got through, like, the House is, like, a pretty big deal on the federal level.
Yeah. For the first time, like
For the first time ever.
Yeah.
Like, a month ago for the first time ever. That's a big deal. And so now, with the majority, hopefully we can put enough pressure on them that they have to. Hopefully enough people line these politicians' pockets to make it worth their time. Because that's all it is. Like, is that going to make me more money?
For real. The big people in cannabis need to start paying these politicians to make
a lot of
legal.
money. Like, that's
You need to outbid big tobacco, big liquor.
The hemp companies got to outbid these timber and paper companies. You have to get your bankroll up. That's all it is.
This is where the hemp billionaires can help us out. Start bribing the politicians. Actually,
please.
We might get banned from YouTube.
Huh? Really?
YouTube might permanently ban us for saying such a egregious statements. But seriously,
do y'all's under the table dealings for hemp. Like, if y'all want it, please.
We have an opportunity here, so let's take it for what it is and legalize marijuana.
We need you, rich people.
We need you.
We need you on our side. The last thing I want to talk about, really, is a new show I'm watching on Netflix right now, dude.
What's it called?
Lupin.
I saw the preview. It's a show? I thought it was a movie.
It's a show. That hoe is crazy,
it's like
bro.
It's like about a heist or something, right?
Nah. It's about a guy who does heists.
Yeah, okay.
But it's not about, like, one grand heist.
Oh, okay.
So, because I don't like the ones that are really about one grand heist, where every episode you find out a different step about it.
Yeah.
It's really about a guy who is, so stuff happened to his father in the past, he wants to figure it out. That's really all it's about. But his profession is, like, he's, like, kind of a little bit of mixture of, like, Sherlock Holmes, I would say, James Bond, and, like, in The Kingsman, those 3 things together. Because he's like a gentleman in the way that he does everything, but at the end of the day, in focus, but at the end of the day, he's like just a thief and a robber, you know?
In just a really classy manner.
And it's a really classy manner, exactly, but it's a good show to watch.
Yeah, no, I was right about to start it last night, and then I was just like, I'm too tired to start a show. I got to give it its proper watch.
I think I started this morning. It's worth it. I was smoking this morning, my morning session, and I was just watching that shit like, whoa, what the fuck?
I needed a new show, too. I haven't been watching much TV at all lately. I just watch YouTube shit.
That's good. I've been really diving into LinkedIn, so I've been missing a lot of the shows I've been putting on. I watched some Gary Vee content. He talks about LinkedIn, and then I really saw that there is no place on the internet where more hangouts and more discussions are happening about cannabis than on LinkedIn.
That's dope. Definitely big shout out to
Nowhere.
LinkedIn. We gotta get them on the legalize it train. Find the local billionaire in the LinkedIn DMs and tell them to legalize it.
That's a bet. I'll hit them up.
Hell yeah. I guess we could sign out there, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
We always appreciate y'all tuning in. This is just, some more open discussion, things for y'all to listen to.
Legalize it.
When y'all are bored at work or bored at home, we always appreciate y'all tuning in.
Oh, yeah.
This has been a fun one. Shout out to the UFC, Dana White, the Diaz brothers for making cannabis in the UFC finally happen.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Virginia. And I guess we're going to see this whole drama in Brooklyn play out together. So
Soon we will.
Hell yeah. It's been another one.
Indeed it has.
Peace.